So what is it this week?
14th of December.
That's right. And what is it this week?
Monday.
That's right.
The last week of school.
Yay.
The last week of school.
Are you happy about that?
It's yes, and we're going to have 14 days off and 2 weeks off.
Right.
Finished.
Go on then. Say it. No? Okay. Good morning. Happy Vlogmas Day 14. So, a start of another week again. I've just uploaded my vlog from last week's antics, so I hope you enjoy watching that. It's a little bit longer than the week before, so hope it's not too long for you, but yeah, it's just the way the week went. It was a busy one for me. So another busy week ahead. Again, I've got quite a lot planned for this week. It's the last week of school for the boys, so I've got quite a lot to get in before they finish, really. So I've got to get the food in and things like that. So today I'm in the car again this morning because I'm just about to go in and do my weekly food shop at Aldi. And I am planning to go for a run today. I didn't get out at all on the weekend. I just really didn't fancy it, to be honest. The weather was awful. Yeah, so I didn't get out, unfortunately. But I'm hoping to go today. I'm not really feeling the love for it, to be honest, today. So I don't know how far I'm going to do. I'll just see how I feel when I get going. It is a bit breezy, so we'll see. But at least it's dry today. So yes, when I get back, I'm going to unload the shopping, quickly go for my run. And then I've got to prep the dinner for this evening and make another cake as well. So I think really that's my plan for the day. And I've got some washing on, so I just need to hang that out. So I shall see you a bit later on. Right, so I'm back from shopping and it's a little bit later than usual because I picked up a few more bits ready for Christmas. So it took me longer to go around the shop and just to unpack it all just a moment as well. And I just quickly nipped into Tesco whilst I was over at the shopping area because needed to pick some bits up for my boys for their stockings, so I just got some pants and socks and things because they're desperate for them. Yeah, so that I usually put them in their stockings every year. So I'm going to go for my run, and as it's quite late, I'm just going to do my quick 4-mile circuit around the village, and then I'm going to get back and prep some dinner for this evening, and then I'll have a spot of lunch. I need to quickly whip round with the Hoover as well, as I've noticed a few pesky threads are starting to travel up the stairs as they do. Hazard of being a sewist. Yeah, and then what I'll do then is hopefully get time to bake a cake before I have to go and pick the boys up from school. So I shall see you in a bit. Right, so I'm back from my run. It was really hard today, I have to say. I did the 4 miles. It's really quite breezy out there and my legs just didn't want to play ball today, so they just felt a little bit jelly-like. But I got round and it was nice to be out in the fresh air because it was quite sunny. Yeah, and I'm now back and showered, and I've got a chocolate cake cooking in the oven, so that'd be the cake for my husband for the week. As there's only one slice of the other one that I made last week, and I'm just about to start cooking my dinner for this evening, so I thought I'd show you what I'm making, and it's chili con carne. So I use 5% fat lean beef mince, and then I put in with it some chopped tomatoes, some red kidney beans, some baked beans and some chickpeas, and I rinse off the chickpeas and the red kidney beans. I also put in 2 beef stock cubes, so these are the OXO ones, and I used 2 because I've actually got a kilogram of meat to put in, because I used to buy 500 grams but it just doesn't go round the family enough now, so I make enough to freeze a portion or 2. I also add in a splash of Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce, and I also pop in 2 onions which are all chopped up ready to go, and I've got 4 garlic cloves here that I'm going to cut up, and then I obviously add in the chili powder, and I put in just enough for my preference really. I don't put in hot chili powder anymore because of the boys, so I put in mild, and then I add some chili flakes to my own portion because I do like a little bit of a kick with my chili, and then I just add a splodge of sour cream on the top, and the boys really like that. They always want more. more. Yeah, so I'm going to get on with cooking this. Quickly, just to say what I'm wearing is another Tilly and the Buttons cocoa top, and this fabric is a Pontoroma that I got from John Lewis. I've had this years, it's done really well. Yeah, so just the plain neck 3/4 length sleeve version. Okay, so I should get on with cooking. My chili con carne is nicely simmering away there, so that's nearly done now, and then I can turn it off and it will be ready for this evening. So I usually put 2 tins of tomatoes in when I use that much mince, but I only had one and I actually think it looks okay with just one in actually, so yeah, we'll see how it is. So I've just finished the cake, so I'll bring you over. So here is my lovely chocolate cake. The boys love the chocolate cake, so Simon probably won't get as many portions as normal, so that's nicely done. And that's the only little slice left from my Victoria sponge sandwich last week. Here I am at my usual position, time to pick the boys up from school, although I am leaving slightly earlier today because I need to nip to the post office to get some stamps and to post a parcel. So the queue out of the post office at the moment in the village is just horrendous. So I'm leaving early, obviously, so I can stand in that queue. Whilst it's a dry day, I don't mind doing that. So I'm going to go down and do that. And I've got some clothes to drop off into the charity bin. Yeah, so I'm going to nip down and pick the boys up this evening. You know, the usual. Don't really need to reel off, do I? You know, just yeah, play a game perhaps, watch a bit of TV, maybe a bit of sewing, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yes, I will leave it here for today as usual, and I will catch you again tomorrow. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 15. So today I've got a few errands to run. So I'll be firstly dropping the boys off at school as usual, and then I'm going to be driving out to a town called Melton Mowbray, which is about half an hour's drive from where I live. But the reason I'm going there is because they've got a really nice cheese shop. So I'm hoping to pick up some nice cheeses for Christmas. Last year we had a really nice one called Black Bomber, so I'm hoping to get that again. And I want to get, you know, some classic Stilton, and I'm also going to be picking up a Melton Mowbray pork pie, which is what they're famous for. And then I'm hoping on the way back to come back via Dunelm, because I need to pick up a zip for the little girl's dress that I'm making for my friend's new baby, and also some buttons for the cardigan that I've made for her as well. And then this afternoon there is a possibility that I will be going out for a walk with my mum if she's able to come round. I think she's having some work done on their car this morning, so it depends if that's done in time. So yeah, I might see her a bit later, I might not, otherwise it'll be later in the week. So that's my few jobs this morning, and I also just need to get, you know, a few jobs around the house done as usual, so I shall catch you a little bit later. From my shopping trip, and I've picked up everything that I needed to. I also picked up the ham as well, so that was good. And I actually picked that up from Clark's Butchers in Queniborough, which is a lovely little village just about 20 minutes drive from where I live. It used to be in the next village to where I used to live. Yeah, and they're renowned for their meats. So I picked up the cheeses. So I've got some Stilton cheese, some Black Bomber. I picked up the 2 pork pies, which are the Melton Mowbray ones. And also I picked up some lovely pickled onions. So yeah, that's ready for our Christmas Eve. So here's my little cardigan that I've made. And I haven't put the buttons on yet. So I couldn't decide when I was at the shop what sort to go for. So I've bought 3 different lots. Now these ones are wooden ones and they are a little bit bigger than what I really wanted, but they do go. So that's one option, but I do think they're a bit big. They didn't have any smaller in that style, unfortunately. The other option I picked up was this pearlescent sort of light pink colour, but I don't know if it's like it's too light, and because of the pearlescentness of them, I don't know if they're just a bit too, I don't know, standouty. And then the other alternative I picked up is actually these cute little cat ones, which I do quite like because the cats have got the same colour in, but it's just that they're white, so they do stand out again a little bit. So I'm undecided about which to go for. I do really like that. I'll probably end up going with those. You're probably screaming at me, no, not those. Yeah, I do like the little cats. You can see they've got the same colour in as the wool. Yeah, it's just the pink. Just a little bit, I don't like the fact they're a bit pearlescent-y. I don't know. They didn't really have any others that went with this. I don't know what to do, and I do really like the wooden ones, but they're just a little bit too big, I think. I don't know. I mean, by the time you see this video, I perhaps would have already decided what ones I'm going to put on and would have sent this off already. Well, actually, I'm going to drop it off. I'm going to post it in her door because I'm not posting it. It's going to take too long to get there. Yeah, they're just a bit big. If they'd got those just a smidge smaller, they would have been perfect. I bought some previously, very similar to that, smaller, but they didn't have them for one that I'd knitted like this. It was a while ago now. But yes, that's my situation. I'm trying to decide. Right, so I'm just about to have my lunch and I'm having poached eggs on toast today. So I thought I'd show you how I do it, just because I tend to find that I end up getting perfect eggs most times. So I thought I'd just show you, just in case you'll ever have trouble getting these perfectly poached eggs. So I'm going to turn the camera around just so you can see how I do. So I have 2 eggs, 1 for each piece of toast, and then I crack it into a cup, just making sure I don't break the yolk. And then I boil the kettle and put the water in a saucepan and then bring that back up to the boil, so it's like this. And then what I do is get my wooden spoon with the handle end and I give it a stir so it starts going round and round. I then bring my gas back down to sort of simmer, and then I literally pour my egg in, and that will gather all around, as you can see there. And then I take my second cracked one and literally just sort of pour that next to it, and then it will just congeal together somehow, and I leave that simmering. I don't turn the water off, so I leave that just to simmer now for a little bit. I sort of roughly gauge it about 3 minutes, and I just put my toast in whilst that's doing it, and that seems to work out fine. Okay, so my toast is ready for the eggs. I actually have Marmite on mine rather than butter. I know, I'm a bit of an odd bod. Right, so I'm going to pop the eggs on it. Okay, so I turn the gas off, and then I take a slotted spoon, and then I just scoop into there to get my egg. Ooh, nearly lost it then, trying to do this one-handed. And then I just plop that onto my toast, and then get the other one. The other one's worked out actually a lot better, as you can see. And then pop that onto there, and they should be perfectly cooked. Okay, let's test it, shall we? Yes, nice and runny. There we are. So, not as runny as maybe some might like, but I quite like it a little bit firmer, but it's still got a bit of, you know, runniness to it. Perfect for me. Right, so it's that time again where I need to go and pick up the boys from school. So after my lunch, I've just actually been doing a bit of editing on the computer, putting some of my vlogs on. So whilst I'm on the subject of that, I just wanted to say, if you notice there is quite a difference in some of the volume when I'm speaking and that kind of thing, it's actually because I'm using two different devices to record on. I'm using my phone as when I'm going out and about and that kind of thing, but sometimes I actually use the iPod because it records at a lower resolution, so the file size isn't massive, and the volume is actually a lot better on that, bizarrely. So my phone that I'm using right this minute, the volume isn't great. I have to actually turn the volume up on the editing software, and it records a massive file size, and I don't know how to reduce it without it making the video go all weird. Sometimes it makes my lips go out of sync with my voice. I don't know if you've noticed on some of my previous videos. Quite a while back I had a few issues. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I just want to say, if you do notice that there is a difference in volume, that is why. Yes, so this evening I'm hoping to take the boys out for a little walk after we've had dinner to go and see some of the Christmas lights in the village. So I'm hoping to get some footage of that, because I've noticed that this year everybody seems to have gone a little bit crazy on their houses. So it's really, really festive at the moment. And as it's a dry day, it's going to be a good opportunity to go out this evening and have a look. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that. So I'll see you a bit later on. Hi everyone, happy Vlogmas day 16. So it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's the first time I've actually been able to pick up the camera today. I've had such a boring day. There was nothing interesting to film whatsoever. I'm currently sat in the car just waiting to go and pick the boys up. I've come down slightly early because I do need to nip to the post office to pick up some stamps again to post out some more cards, but luckily the shop sells them, so I don't actually have to queue at the counter, thankfully. Yeah, so that my plans were actually scuppered for today, unfortunately. I did have a sewing session set up on Zoom with Anna from You Got Me in Stitches for this morning, but I had to cancel that last minute, unfortunately, and I was really gutted because I was so looking forward to it, and we'd had it organised for quite a while. And it was because my husband actually ended up having to work from home today, so I couldn't use the room where he was using, so that was a bit unfortunate. So all I did this morning instead was actually went to Tesco's and picked up our drinks and a few nibbly bits for Christmas, really. Yeah, just got some booze and some soft drinks and some sharing crisps and that kind of thing. So all my plans are for the rest of the day then is really to pick up the boys, and then I'm going to go home and sort the tea out. We're not really having anything exciting, just some jacket potatoes tonight. So this evening I don't really have anything exciting planned either, apart from the fact that I need to start wrapping the Christmas presents for the boys. Because if I don't get round to it now, then all of a sudden Christmas will be here and I'll still have everything sort of left to do. So I'm trying to get it done before they finish school this Friday. So next week, you know, I don't have too much on my mind because I'll be occupying them. Yeah, so I think that's really all I've got to say about today. I'm really sorry that it's a bit of a boring day. Tomorrow I am going out for a walk with my friend Sally, and then I'll be going for a walk with my mum in the afternoon as well. So fingers crossed the weather improves, because right now it's absolutely pouring down. It's just dreadful weather today. Yeah, and so I haven't been out running either. Oops. But no, I do prefer not to run in the rain. I just, you know, I'm a fair weather runner really, although I do go out occasionally in the rain, you know, because you have to, don't you? But yes, so that is my day today. So I shall see you tomorrow.
Vlogmas day 17.
And what are you doing today? What are you doing today?
Christmas party.
You've got a Christmas party at school?
Yeah.
And can you wear... You're doing PE. Listen, what are you wearing today?
Below.
No. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing normal clothes.
Normal clothes. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 17. So today I have got some walks planned for the day, which I'm quite excited about because I haven't done any running for the past couple of days, and also yesterday was a really dreary, miserable day with the weather, so I didn't really do a lot yesterday. It was just such a boring day, so I'm looking forward to getting out, getting some exercise, getting some fresh air. It's a lovely day so far, so fingers crossed it stays dry. It's quite sunny, so that'll be nice. Yeah, so I'm meeting up with my friend Sally first of all at Bradgate Park, and we're just going to do our 6-mile loop as usual. And then this afternoon my mum should be coming round for a little walk with me as well. And I know she's been to her allotment this week, so I'm hoping that she'll be bringing me some sprouts ready for Christmas. So last night I didn't actually end up wrapping any presents in the end, so I need to go through them with my husband just to see whose is whose, so we need to do that first. So in the end I actually sat down and did a little bit of sewing on the little girl's dress for my friend's new baby. I installed the zip. It's just a standard zip, not an invisible zip, and I had a right nightmare putting it in. I actually haven't put a normal zip in for quite a while, and I couldn't remember how to do it, bizarrely. So I looked in one of the books that I use quite regularly, but because it's such a small neckline, I can't do it the way I usually do it. So yeah, I had to sort of do it in my own way, and I've managed to do it, but it just took me all evening to do it. And I put the bias binding on the skirt, and that looks really nice. So I'm going to show you what I've done. So yes, I shall see in a moment. Okay, so here is the dress, and it's got the zip installed there, as you can see. I'm really quite happy with how neat that is, considering the amount of grief I had putting it in last night. And I'm really happy with how that seam line is lining up there as well. I've managed to get it completely straight across the top, so I'm really happy with that, and it opens and closes no problem. It doesn't get caught on any of the fabric. I've just pinned the lining in place at the moment, as I just need to hand sew that into position. And then at the bottom of the dress I have added some of this gold bias binding. So what I'm actually going to do is fold it in a way so you can still see a little bit of the gold at the bottom, as I think that will finish the dress off really nicely. So if I just try and demonstrate, it will look a little something like that at the bottom, just with that little peep of gold. I just think that finishes it off nicely. So I think what I'm going to do, even though this is cut on the bias and it shouldn't fray, I will just overlock that edge just to give it a little bit more stability and make the dress last. And then I'll fold it in a way that it still shows a little bit, and then I'll sew it into place on the edge there. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. So I will show it you once I've completely finished it. But if anybody does know of a YouTube tutorial or anywhere I can find some information about how I should insert a standard zip into a little girl's dress, I'd be really interested just to have a look, because the way you'd usually do it if you were doing a skirt, for instance, is that you'd actually close the whole of the seam first. You'd actually use basting stitches at a length of about 4mm to where the zip finishes, and then close the rest of the seam with your standard stitch length. And then you'd place the zip into place and stitch around the edge on the outside of the garment. But because this is a little girl's dress, you can't do that because you've only got this small opening. And you could probably do it, I suppose, if before you'd attach the shoulder seams, but obviously in the instructions you insert the zip at this point, so I couldn't do it. So I'd just be interested to see if there was a tutorial that I could just have a look at for future reference. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you know of any. That would be great. I thought I'd show you the boys' advent calendars. So they've got these little trucks each, which I put a chocolate in every night, so they open it obviously in the morning. But I forgot that we'd got these, and I actually bought them some standard ones, so they have those when they come in from school, so they have 2 chocolates a day. And it's funny because in the morning they get up before I do. They come downstairs. My husband is an early bird, so he comes downstairs and they open their advent calendar, this one, and then they come running up the stairs to me and tell me what they've got in it, because I always put something different in every day. And bless them, this morning Thomas came running up and said, "Mummy, I had a little Christmas pudding inside it," which is, you know, just one of these little chocolate balls. And he actually gave it to me and said, "Here you are, there's half for you." So we bit half and left it on my bedside table for me to have. I mean, how sweet is that? They're so good. But yeah, they really like these. We got these from Aldi a couple of years ago now, actually. Yeah, they're quite good. So I've mixed up all the numbers, so they're all in different orders. So yeah, they all have a challenge to find them. And then they have their other one when they come home from school. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 18. So today is the last day of school for the boys, so they were really excited to actually go in and just enjoy their last day with their friends, although they are really tired because we've had tears this morning just because they're so tired. Oh, bless them. Yeah, so it was quite a little game to get them out the door this morning. We were just running slightly behind, so I'm just sat in the car now as I've just dropped them off at school. The weather is dreadful again today, so it's my husband's Friday off, and again he's in the garden doing a bit more to the boys' tree house, bless him. So yeah, he's in. Every time he seems to do it, the weather seems to be bad. I think, oh goodness, you know. Yeah, so this morning I've actually got a hospital appointment. It's nothing serious. I'm just going for a checkup because I had a chat with the nurse at the doctor's, and there might be a chance that I've got some fibroids. We're just not 100% sure, so I just need to get that double checked because my periods have been getting continuously heavier throughout the year. So I won't go into all the gory details, but yeah, just to check. I'm sure everything will be fine, so we'll just see. Yeah, and then this afternoon I'm hoping to start some mince pies because I've not actually made any yet. I usually make quite a lot, but because we're not having many people over at Christmas, I will just be making a few, but they do like to have them as breakfast in the morning during the Christmas period, so that's my plans today. So I shall catch you a little bit later on. So I thought I'd just show you the dress. It's all finished now, and I'm really happy with it. So at the end you can see that I've got this lovely bias trim that's just peeking out at the bottom, and I've added one of my new labels. It says "So Little Time" by Karen. I've attached that onto the outside just as a little tag. I've just hand sewn a little bit of it down here as well. Yeah, and on the inside it looks nice and neat. So I've got the seams overlocked there, and then I'll turn it round. You can see my lovely zip again, all nicely installed. Yeah, really pleased with that. So I'll just turn it inside out. So here's the inside then with the lining stitched down. So I've hand stitched that all the way around and all the way down the side of the zip as well. And you can just see that I've French seamed the side seams there, and I've stitched actually that down so it doesn't flap around too much. So I've just stitched that with white thread, and you can't even see it, and I've done that on both sides. Yeah, and I'm really happy with how that's looking on the inside. Just turn it over again. So it just makes it really neat with that bodice like that, and that isn't part of the pattern. They do line it, but the way they finish it is slightly different, so I just prefer it where all the raw edges are completely hidden. So I had a little bit of happy mail arrive in the post yesterday, and I thought I'd save it for today to open it in front of you. And it's in this little parcel here, and I think if you look at the logo here, you might guess who that is from. And it's from Laura from the Specky Seamstress. If you've not come across her before, I'll link all the details in the description box below for you. But she's actually set up her own business for making her own bias binding. And she had a Kickstarter campaign to get her off the ground with this business. And I put a pledge in for her, and I've now got my order through for some bias binding. So I'm going to open it up and have a look because I can't actually remember the designs that I ordered. And you will know that I do really like using bias binding in my makes. I use it for putting around my facings and also on the edges of my hems. So I'm going to open this little package up and see what I ordered. Ooh, lovely. So I've got two. I'm going to open up this really noisy packet. Excuse me a second. So the ones that I've had are just a yellow one that says "You are a superstar," and then there's a pink one which says "Made to measure" across it. And they're really nice, and they will definitely get used on a lot of my me-mades. So yes, I will put the details for all of Laura's information in the description box below for you if you want to go and check out her new business venture and to give her some support and get your own bias binding. So I should look forward to using those. Now I'm not wearing a me made today, you've seen this before. This is just a dress that I bought from the charity shop, but I did make this shrug, which I've mentioned before. Yeah, so I'm just literally got a little bit of time before I have to go off for my hospital appointment, so I'm going to wrap a few presents up. Yeah, and then I'm going to go off to that, and then I shall see you a bit later on. Right, so I've just come out of the hospital. I'm now sat at Aldi, just about to go in and get a few bits. So I had a abdominal scan and also an internal scan, and there was lots of clicking on the computer and stuff, so I really don't know yeah, what was there, because I now have to wait a week for the results. But I went in feeling really optimistic and thinking, oh, there's going to be nothing there, but as she was like taking her time and clicking so much, now I'm a little bit concerned as to whether there is anything there. So yeah, we'll wait and see. So fingers crossed I don't get bad news around Christmas time. But if that is the case, then hopefully we'll deal with what is there. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So now it's just a waiting game, isn't it? But hey ho, yeah, they were really good. I went in really quickly. I only had to pay £1 in the car park, so that was a bonus. So I'm just about to go into Aldi, just pick up some milk and stuff, and then I'll be on my way home to go home for lunch. So I shall check in with you a bit later. Right, so here we are again. Time to pick up the boys for the final time this year. So they'll be dead excited that they're not going back and that Christmas is just around the corner. So this afternoon, all I did was actually end up wrapping just a few more presents up. I didn't get time to make any mince pies today. Time had just ticked on by the time I got back from my appointment this morning. So my husband came in and had lunch from me to warm up with a bowl of soup, bless him. So he's still out there now and it is still raining. Yeah, so he's been a right trooper. So I think this treehouse will get done by the spring next year. Yeah, it's just one of those projects that's taken quite a long time. So this evening I have a really nice evening planned and I'm looking forward to it so much. I've got a Zoom drinking session with my oldest friend Mel. We've been friends for 40 years as we've known each other since we were at play school. Yeah, and I haven't seen her for such a long time because of obviously the reasons that we're all in lockdown for, and also because she lives in Gloucester, which is where I'm originally from. And I left there when I was 16 back in 1995. So yeah, that was a horrible time at the time. But yes, I've been living in Leicester since then. But we're still really, really good friends. And yeah, I hope to see her again soon, you know, sometime soon in the future. But for now, the Zoom call will have to do tonight. I'll end it here for today. And I shall hopefully pick the camera up again tomorrow. So I shall see you then. Vlogmas day 19. So this is the first time I've had a chance to pick up the camera. I have had such a busy day. My husband this morning decided that we needed to sort our bedroom out. He had had enough of all my sewing stuff just sort of getting everywhere. It had gone under the bed and I'd got unfinished projects on under there. So literally every single drawer, every single bit of stuff in my wardrobe came out and I had a massive sort out. So I have actually sent some of my fabrics to the charity shop, which I know I'll be no longer using, and it gave me a chance to also do the same with my clothes. So I have got rid of some of my clothes and I've been meaning to do that for so long. So anyway, this evening, really excited that we're actually having a Zoom Christmas party with my Felicity Fabrics blogger team. Excuse me a second. But yeah, so that's going to be taking place at 9 PM tonight after the Strictly final. So yeah, we're all coming together to see each other on Zoom. I'm really looking forward to it. Somebody wants to say hello.
Hello.
Crackerjack. Yeah, so really looking forward to that. Anyway, so I'm going to end it here because yeah, somebody's interrupting me. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Happy Vlogmas Day 20! 5 days to go till the big day. Can't believe it. I've just been out for a really lovely walk with my family and just done a really nice loop in the village. So it's a new route for me to try on a run as well. Really nice. It's a new paved area, so yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, gorgeous weather today. Beautiful sunshine, blue skies, and it's just really fresh, really cold. So that was lovely. So we're going to come in now, have a cup of coffee, probably a little chocolate off the tree, and yeah, we're just gonna. And here's Harry. So we're just gonna have a chilled out day at home today. Yeah, I've got to cook the dinner, bake a cake again for the week, and watch a bit of TV later, probably a family movie or something. So that's what my plans are for today. I had a really lovely Zoom session last night with my Felicity Fabrics blogger team, so that was lovely, and had a nice glass of wine and had a ching mug with everybody. So yes, that's my day today, so I might catch up with you later, I might not. Say bye!